Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to show you 5 drills that you can do to improve your speed with and without the ball. Just before we get into them, I want to say a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace is where I built my website, 7mlctraining.com, and from websites to analytics to marketing tools, they're the all-in-one place to grow your online presence and manage your business. But let's get to work. So getting straight into the first drill, and all 5 of these exercises have 3 main components to them. The first component is accelerating without the ball to develop sharpness in our off the ball movement. The second component is on the ball movement, manipulating the ball with speed and control around various angles. And then the third component is end product. So all of these exercises will finish with a strike on goal. So the first exercise is set up with 5 cones. The back 2 cones here are 4 steps laterally from the penalty spot. We have 2 cones opposite on the 18-yard line, and then we also have 1 cone in the middle. We start with the ball in between the 18 and that center cone on either side. So starting with our back to goal, we accelerate up to the 18-yard line, get around the cone with a low center of gravity, and then accelerate onto the ball, taking light and frequent touches so that we can keep the ball really close to our body and also allow us to travel with speed. Then we get around the opposite cone with close control, dribble back towards the goal and perform a 1v1 move at the cone to shift the ball to our right hand side for the first repetition, then get the strike across goal. Then we retrieve the ball, place it between the middle cone and the opposite cone that's on the 18-yard line, so that we can go in the opposite direction. So then we'll start with our back towards the goal once again, accelerate to the 18-yard line, retrieve the ball, close control, try and use both feet when you're dribbling, then go 1v1 against the cone and get a left foot strike across goal. Making sure you get an equal amount of reps with your right and left foot. I'd recommend starting out with 2 on your right and then 2 on your left. For the second drill, we've got a very similar setup, but we've added an extra cone in the middle here. And we're gonna start with the ball at either of these bottom cones, and then we're gonna start on the 18-yard this time. So we start facing towards the goal this time, accelerate towards the ball, take those light and frequent touches, keeping it close to our body, and it's close control between those 2 cones in the middle, out to the opposite cone, and then we're performing another 1v1 move, shifting it to the side and getting that strike across goal into the dangerous part of the goal that would be difficult for the goalkeepers to save. So really emphasize a low center of gravity, both when you're moving without the ball around the cones, but also when you're dribbling. It's going to help you move more efficiently and with more control. And again, with this exercise, get an equal amount of repetitions on your right and left foot. I'd recommend 2 on the right and then 2 on the left. For the third drill, we've placed down 6 cones. 2 are placed in between the penalty spot and the 6-yard line with the ball. We have 2 opposite, which is our starting gate on the 18-yard line. And then 4 steps either side, we've placed down 2 more cones. So starting at the 18-yard line, without the ball, facing the goal, accelerate towards the ball, retrieve it and get around the cone, getting out to each wing, back through the gate, and then out to the opposite side. Make use of both feet, get around the cones with close control, back through that starting gate with the ball, and that's where you get the strike on goal. Then the next time through, turn the corner towards the opposite direction. So if you went through to the right side on the first repetition, go out to the left on the next one. I recommend 2 repetitions on the right foot and then 2 repetitions on the left. For the fourth drill, we've kept the exact same setup with the cones. Now we're just going to change our approach. So starting between the 6-yard line and the penalty spot, we accelerate away from the goal, retrieve the ball between the cones, get out to one side with close control, taking lots of touches to keep it close to our body, out to the opposite side, and then we go back through the gate, and then we get the strike into the corner. So making sure we accelerate, decelerate as we get closer to the ball, so that we can get control and balance of our body. Frequent and small touches so that we keep the ball close to our body, and then also some composure in the finish. After these exercises, your legs are going to be fatigued, so it's a great opportunity to work on keeping the quality in front of goal. 2 repetitions on the right foot and then 2 repetitions on the left. And for the 5th and final drill, I've placed down 10 cones. The starting gate is a step back from the edge of the D, 3 steps forward. Place down the next cone directly between the D and the 18-yard line, 45 degrees, 3 steps, another 2 cones, 3 steps forward, another 2 cones, so this forms a square, and directly in the middle is where we place the ball, and then 45 degrees from the square, another 2 cones tied together, which we're going to dribble through, and then our final cone. So we accelerate towards goal, get around that first cone and out diagonally, retrieve the ball, then we get around the cones with close control, out to the final cone, perform a 1v1 move, and then we get the strike into the corner. So lots of little touches, really important to emphasize that low center of gravity, slight bend in the knees, both with and without the ball at your feet. Making sure we're getting equal amount of repetitions on our right and left foot. 2 on the right, 2 on the left, and that's the session complete. So there we have it, 5 drills you can use to increase your speed with and without the ball. Just before I go, I want to say another huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace is where I built my website, www.7mlctraining.com. It's become the central hub of my entire brand and has allowed me to put everything 7MLC training related in one place, from my blog posts to my podcast, as well as my very own 7-day training programs. And if you enjoyed today's exercises and you want more that are going to take your close control dribbling and speed with the ball to the next level, I recommend checking out Magnetico, my very own 7-day dribbling training program. I'll leave a link to it in the description box down below. But if you've ever considered building a website, you don't know where to start, check out Squarespace. And if you use the link in my description, www.squarespace.com/7mlc, you can get 10% off your first website. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash the like button, hit that subscribe button for weekly training videos, and I will see you guys in my next video.